Hello guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, All Rounders. Here we are arrived with the second part of the Python programming tutorial. I am Bhupendra along with Jeet. Both of us will tell you about how to install the Python interpreter in your computer or laptop or whatever you are using right now. And after that, we will tell you about the data types, and what are the variables and how to define it. And after that, we will run our first program. So let's get started. Open the Google. देन आपको टाइप करना है python.org. क्लिक एंटर. गाइस, आपके सामने ये स्क्रीन पॉपअप होकर आएगी. देन आपको डाउनलोड सेक्शन में जाना है. आफ्टर गोइंग टू द डाउनलोड सेक्शन, आपके पास डाउनलोड पाइथन 3.8.5 लेटेस्ट वर्जन यहाँ पे अवेलेबल होगा. अभी लेटेस्ट वर्जन यहाँ पर 3.8.5 है. लेटर टाइम में ये बढ़ सकता है. मेरे पास इस लैपटॉप में 3.7 का लेटेस्ट वर्जन था. गाइस, आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे विंडोज, लिनक्स, मैक ओएस सभी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स के लिए ये अवेलेबल है, तो आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. और गाइस, मैं रेफर करूंगा कि आप लेटेस्ट वर्जन ही डाउनलोड करें. गाइस, इट लुक्स लाइक दिस आइडल. So this is the screen where we run our first program. So guys, we will tell you about this interpreter later. So first of all, let's go back, and now we will tell you about what are the data and what are the data types and what are the variables and how to define it. So let's get started.
So guys, Bhupendra will tell you about data and data types, and I'll be explaining the variables part, and at the end I'll also be giving a small demonstration. So now over to Bhupendra.
Yeah, so guys, what is data? So data is familiar to most of us. It can take many forms such as the numbers, words or sentences. For instance, in order to rank a badminton player in the order of their achievements, we need the data such as the name, the gender, the country name, number of tournaments they have played, and also the number of points they have earned in a tournament. So basically, there are various types of data, or we can say that there are various data types. So what are the data types? The data type is the collection of the data item. In the previous example, the number of points earned are the numbers, and they are not only letter or symbol. These numbers are also known as the numeric data type. Some of the obvious data types are the numeric, non-numeric, and the Boolean, which is the true or false. By knowing the data has allows us to determine the kind of operations that can be done on the data. For example, you can perform the arithmetic operations on the numeric data like addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and so on. So here are the types of data. So basically guys, there are 4 types of data: numeric, Boolean, sequence, and dictionary. We will discuss it one by one in details. So let's get started. So numeric data types. What are these? Any representation of the data that has the numeric value is known as the numeric data type. Python identifies 3 types of the numbers, which are the integer, float, and the complex numbers. So the integer is the positive and negative whole numbers. Float is the real numbers with a floating point representation in which the fractional component is denoted by a decimal or a scientific notation. Complex numbers, a number with a real or the imaginary component, is represented as a plus bj in Python, where a and b are the floats. Next, we have the Boolean data types. In this, any representation of the data which has the 2 values are denoted by true or either false, or we can say it's maybe 1 or either 0, or we can say that may or vice versa. So what is the sequence data types? An ordered collection of the similar or different data types is the sequence data types. There are various built-in sequence data types, which are the string, list, and tuple. So string is a collection of one or more characters which is put in the single quote or double quote or triple quotes. List is an ordered collection of the one or more data items, not necessarily of the same type, but in the square brackets. In the tuple, it is just similar like list, but we store it in the round brackets. So guys, what are the dictionary data types? An unordered collection of the data in the key value pair form is known as the dictionary data types. So here in the example, you can see that one is the key and Superman is the value of this key. And by combining all these variables, we made our dictionary data types. So guys, this is all about the data and data types. Now Jeet will tell you about what are the variables and how to define it, and then he will also implement those. So let's get started.
So guys, what are variables? So a variable in a Python program gives data to the computer for processing. Based on a data type of a variable, the interpreter allocates memory and decides what can be stored in a reserved memory. Therefore, by assigning different data types to variables, you can store integers, decimals, or characters in these variables. So guys, if you want to store data in any type of programming language, we need some entities, and those entities are nothing but variables. So now I'll be telling you the rules to define a variable in Python. So Python variable name can contain small case letters, uppercase letters, numbers, and underscore. A variable name can't start with a number. We can't use reserved keywords as a variable name. So guys, in the previous video, we had told you about some keywords in Python, and as you can see, the variable names can't take the keywords and it will show an error. So furthermore, the variable name can be of any length, and also Python variable names can't contain only digits. The variable names are case sensitive also. So if I am storing a variable, a data in the form of two variables, taking the name small a and capital A, then those variable names are totally different and the data is being stored at two different memory locations. So that was all about rules, and now I'll demonstrate the whole implementation. So guys, here you can see the Python interpreter. So here's the menu bar, and over here is the file option. So go over there and select new file. So here's a dialog box for the new file. So this is the area where we are writing the line of codes. So now I'll start. So this is the first line of code. Here I've taken a variable a and I've stored the value 10 in it. Accordingly, I'll take many variables and store different values in it, and you will see what happens next. So this is the variable b where I have stored 34.45, and this is a float value. And this is the variable c, and I've stored a complex number in it, 5 plus 6j. Here's a variable d, and I've stored a string value in it, and it says hello. So after every declaration line, I'll be printing the value of that variable as well as its type. And I've been using the function type function, which prints the data type of that variable. So I have written all the lines of codes for this file, and as you can see, when we are printing the variables, we do not need to add the inverted commas. But if you're printing certain strings using the print function that basically displays some results, then we need to use certain inverted commas. Like if I write print hello, then I'll be specifying certain. I'll be writing. I'll be comprising that string into inverted commas, and that's not the case with variables. So yeah, hello. Let's write hello world. So yeah, the lines of codes are complete. So now what I'll do is save this file first before running, or you can just run it. It will automatically give you a prompt. So let's check it if it's working correctly or not. Yeah, let's save it. You can give any name, like and giving it variables dot variables.py. It's being saved with the py.py extension. I'm saving it. So yeah, it's saved. Now see, first I'm printing the value stored in variable a, that is 10. Its data type is integer, so it displays class int. Then I'm printing 34.45, that is the value stored in variable b, and its data type is float. Thirdly, I'm printing the value stored in variable c. Its class is complex, that is complex data type. Then I'm printing the following variable which comes after c, that is d, and it had stored the value hello, a string, and the data type it is printing is c, is a string. Then I had stored a dictionary in variable e, and the key value pairs were one, then G, then two, and Bhupendra. These were the key value pairs. And C, it's printing class DICT. That means that it's a dictionary. And at last, I was printing a string, hello world. So yeah, that was all about variables and data types. A type function can be used to display the data type of that variable, and we do not need to explicitly specify the data type when while declaring a variable in Python, as it was discussed earlier. So that was all about the implementation. Thanks a lot. So thanks a lot, guys, for being a good audience. And today we discussed about data types and variables. I hope that you are able to install the Python idle properly and then implement what we have demonstrated. So guys, practice is a must for Python. For any language, if you're learning a new language, then practice is a must. So guys, please practice what we have told you guys today, and yeah, we'll come up with further videos, and yeah, so stay tuned for the further videos.
Thank you, guys.